most sampled drum parts. That's the great drummer, Steve Gadd. Maybe
Steve Gadd,
maybe
baby.
the premier drummer of my generation, or certainly one of them. There were a couple.
Such
of
an amazing part.
Do I have that? Let me see. There it is. So you originated that with a drum machine, and then you bring it to him?
No,
little tambourine.
Much more credit to Steve Gadd than that. I'm playing the song with my drum machine, and Steve says, I was in the Army Corps of Drummers, and part of what we had to learn were these parade drum things. So I would practice these kind of beats.
Marches.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
He said, what about that?
It rolls into the march.
Yeah, sure. Let's try it.
I mean, that's so iconic, that drum.
That part is so amazing, because it's like, that is true, because it is a very march-like beat. And marches literally gotta get you going, gotta get you moving, happy to be moving. And that's like, oh my God, I love that part so much. Hi everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel. I am working on a really big video right now, but it means I have not been able to do my weekly uploads as I usually want to do. But I did think today would be interesting. I just saw that Howard Stern and Paul Simon had a big interview. A bunch of the clips are on YouTube, so I thought we could check that out today. So I've loved Paul Simon since I was a kid. His music is so important to me. It's beautiful. I've sang a bunch of his songs, I think, on this very channel. You like Paul Simon? I don't need to extol the virtues of Paul Simon, but I love Paul Simon. So let's listen to this interview with Paulie S.
Drums on Cecilia?
Well, the drums
Right?
on Cecilia, that's all handmade.
Hey, people think that's a drum. I always thought it was a drum.
No drum in there at all.
No drum.
There's no drum.
Oh, I love this song, Paul. Come here and kiss me. But anyway, yeah, so how did you come up with that?
Artie and I had rented this place in L.A. on Blue Jay Way, the house that George wrote a song, Blue Jay Way.
Yeah.
But we were sitting around one night with maybe 3-4 people, just, having a smoke and hitting guitar cases.
Oh, guitar. Well, guitar cases are...
And playing, whatever, it might have been 8 or 9 minutes, that piece. And we were recording it on a kind of a portable recording device that had a very high quality. I can't remember what the name of it is now. Nagra.
And you're banging on your legs.
And a guitar case.
Right.
And anything. And it goes on for
all guitarists
8 or 9
also
or 10
have to be
minutes.
percussionists.
And I listened back to it, and the first thing I noticed is that something within the Nagra is causing the thing to have like a slap back. So if you go bop, it goes bop, bop, bop.
It's like a reverberated...
What a sound.
Sympathetic
That's
rhythm.
what I said. And then I said, there's like about 1 minute and 15 seconds in here that's really good. So we say to Roy Halley, who was our engineer,
Out of
let's
10, I
take
think.
this minute and
9.
15 seconds and make a loop of it. And then when you made a loop, you really did make a loop. You'd have like 2 different tape machines, and they'd be, could be 8 feet apart. This giant loop would go around.
Yep.
And we let it go around like 4 times, and now we had 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And I said, that's good enough. Then I said, well, play it and let me do that, and then I'll write a song to it. And that's one of the first songs where I made the track and then wrote the song.
Oh, that's
so
crazy.
The drumming thing.
He didn't have...
Here and that.
I got to pause. Okay, so he didn't have any of the song prior to the... That's amazing that he just... And I write a lot of songs. None of them are in the Paul Simon category of goodness. But what I'm saying is that I, too, am a songwriter. And what sometimes will happen is you'll just get something that just inspires that creativity. And songwriters learn to, like, drop everything and, like, go hunt that thing out. And whatever has, like, brought you this kind of, like, little spark of something of invention. And it sounds like this boom, bah, boom, bah, boom, bah, bah. It's in 4/4. It sounds almost like it's in some weird kind of polyrhythmic kind of interesting thing, but it's not. It's in 4/4, but it just inspired the creation of this song. That's amazing.
And then you go...
That's amazing. Little C, little G, baby.
It's the most simple things that you can do, except I was playing it on a dobro guitar. You know what a dobro is?
No.
It's all metal. It was a blues guitar. It
I've seen them, and it's a special sound, right, Paul?
Yeah, because the guitar is all metal. It's not wood.
That's amazing. That's so cool. All right, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. Actually, this drum beat is probably, it's one of my favorites ever written.
I want to talk about 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover.
50 Ways to Leave Your Lover has two different elements to it. One is I find this little chord pattern.
What is that guitar? Holy cow. Oh, gorgeous. Yeah.
Which I like.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That's
What's
so gorgeous.
There's one note you hit in there that was just so, it's almost off.
This?
Yes.
That one? Yeah, it's an interesting chord. But anyway, that was the verse. The chorus, the words of that, I was teaching my son Harper, who was just, young at the time. I was teaching him about rhymes. Slip out the back, Jack. Make a new plan, stand. Be coy, Roy. So that was what that was about. The drum part, which is one of the
fun fact is The Lord of the Rings was a story to J.R.R. Tolkien's kids first. There's a lot of great stuff that comes out of story time for kids.
Most sampled drum parts. That's the great drummer, Steve Gadd. Maybe
Steve Gadd,
maybe
baby.
the premier drummer of my generation, or certainly one of them. There were a couple.
Such an amazing part.
Do I have the? Let me see. There it is. So you originated that with a drum machine, and then you bring it to him?
No,
a little tambourine.
Much more credit to Steve Gadd than that. I'm playing the song with my drum machine, and Steve says, I was in the Army Corps of Drummers, and part of what we had to learn were these parade drum things. So I would practice these kind of beats.
Marches.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
He said, what about that?
It rolls into the march.
Yeah, sure. Let's try it.
I mean, that's so iconic, that drum.
That part is so amazing, because it's like, that is true, because it is a very march-like beat. And marches literally gotta get you going, gotta get you moving, happy to be moving. And that's like, oh my God, I love that part so much.
Well, he is a great drummer.
These are amazing. I want to watch the whole thing now. I'm going to get Sirius Radio so I can watch this whole thing. Hey guys, so I ended up talking for an hour about these Paul Simon interviews with Howard Stern. I'm going to release them just a few at a time, just so they're not too long. I will release the next couple early next week, but probably get all of them out next week. The extended versions of them will be available on my Patreon, all of them once they come out. I really enjoyed it. I think Howard Stern's a great interviewer, and yes, he's been crude in the past, but he knows how to interview somebody, and I really enjoyed these. If you love Paul Simon like I do, how is this hearing it to you? Does it destroy some of the mystique of the music to hear about it, to hear how it was written, to hear about the turmoil behind the scenes? To me, it's just interesting, because I've lived with these songs and sang these songs for so many years that it kind of brings a new view to them. It brings a new perspective to them. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments. Check out my channel for more reactions, more fun music stuff. Keep an eye out for the thing that's keeping my hair frizzy and everything coming to my channel soon. There's a lot of things happening in the world right now, and I'm just sending love out to everybody. Yes, I will have a video up on my channel next week about the Israel-Palestine stuff. I don't know if I'm going to put it on YouTube yet, or if it's just going to be on my Patreon, but if you're at all interested in my opinion on that, as somebody who's been involved, loosely involved. Anyway, check out that on my Patreon. And anyway, I wish you all well. Until next time, keep playing.